Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another random review, and this time it is The Rookie. Now, The Rookie came out in 1990, and I've heard a couple things about this film. I don't know what is true because you don't really have much features on this. I mean, here you have a trailer, and that's it. Sad to say. I know there was a making of back in the day, which I think you can find on YouTube or other places, and it's pretty wanty quality. Wish that was cleaned up and put on an actual release. But I've heard different things. I've heard that at one point this was going to be Dirty Harry, what would it be, 6? The other thing I heard was that the only reason Clint Eastwood did this was so that he would get his project he really wanted to do, the White Hunter, Black Heart. It's okay, we'll finance that if you do this. I don't know what's all true. There's trivia. Who knows if that trivia is right or wrong, because no one ever talks about this film. But this is one of those movies that is a really solid buddy cop film that no one ever talks about. I think it's one of the more underrated buddy cop films. I mean, my favorites would be like Tango and Cash, I Come in Peace, things of that nature. But this film is completely forgotten, which is sad because watch it again. It's a lot of fun. It's one of my favorite Eastwood films. Maybe my favorite that he's directed. And he does a great job. I thought he played off very well with Charlie Sheen. The cast, Raul Julia as your villain. He did a really nice job. Sônia Braga, who's with Raul Julia, has a very interesting scene where she rapes Clint Eastwood, which is not typical. Usually in a movie it's a man raping a woman. I kind of like the idea that they twisted around as it made it unique. And I'm like, Eastwood, you lucky fuck. You lucky bastard. Hey, if I did rape by Sônia Braga. Let me give you a seat. But it has really good action sequences, really well done stunt scenes. My favorite being the big point of the film where the bomb's ready to blow up in the building. They both get in a car and the vehicle drives out of the building right as it explodes. And that looks better than anything in the Fast and Furious films. I don't hate some of the Fast and Furious films, but this looks so much better because it's done for real. It's like you have a real car, or maybe it was a model of a car. I don't know, because there's no making of on this, at least no newer stuff. And you have the car shootout, big explosions, big practical fireballs, and then it crashes on another roof, and then they crash through the skyline and fall down to the ground. Love that scene. Even from the opening, like Clint Eastwood did a really nice job directing this. The opening scene is really interesting, especially when you find out that it's a dream scene, because it's done in these very long shots. So the character's like far away, gives us a weird, quirky vibe to it, and it's a nightmare that Charlie Sheen has, because we found out in the backstory that his brother died. And he could have saved him, but he froze and he was scared, so he wasn't able to save his brother from falling off a roof. He was frozen, he was scared, he was a kid, but he still feels guilty about that. His father is played by Tom Skerritt. And Clint Eastwood is the more accomplished detective in the Grand Theft Auto division. Really, the after that, the opening scene is Clint Eastwood with his partner. I forget who played his partner. For some reason, I want to say it was Frank McRae for Red Dawn and Lockup. I could be wrong, though. It might be a different person. I don't remember who his partner was. I could be wrong on that. But they stop this vehicle. His partner gets shot. He goes after him. And I like the score to this. I thought the score by Lenny Niehaus. I like that. Do 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 do. It does sound like something that would be a piece of music from a Dirty Harry film. So I can see why, even when I was watching this, I'm like, this could work if you change a few things into a Dirty Harry movie. And the dialogue is fun. This is actually written by Boaz, Yakin, and Scott Spiegel. Yes, the man who helped write Evil Dead 2 helped write The Rookie, which is pretty interesting. But he did some fun lines. Who's in the front cab? Santa Claus. And then Eastwood shoots, yeah, and I'm the Tooth Fairy. Try again. And like throughout the film, there's a lot of fun lines. Like when he's making fun of the way Charlie Sheen first dresses. You gotta change the way you dress. You look like an old fuck. And just the way Eastwood says that made me laugh. Or when he's looking at a bad guy's car and Eastwood goes, defacing a work of art with a color like that? Guy ought to have his ass removed. Or like when Paul Ben Victor, who he was one of the guys Daredevil killed on the subway in Daredevil. He played Mole in that TV movie of the Three Stooges. Eastwood gives him what the guy thinks is drugs, but it's actually talcum powder. It's a tu madre. And Eastwood just goes, I'm crying. Or when Eastwood's on the news and he's trying to piss this the bad guy off watching it. And so he tells the newscast and, talking to the TV, well, that's right, ma'am. I realize that homicides and splashy robberies get most of the headlines. It's about time this crime gets the attention it deserves. See, it's impossible to make a real dent, but it is possible to hurt the individual assholes who fucked it up for everyone. Now, I happen to know of a prick that's responsible for the whole fucking operation, and that son of a bitch is hurt right now, and I'm fucking liking it. So, I mean, even like the guy who plays the captain, I forget the actor's name, but he has this fun line like, it's not just a job, it's a fucking adventure. And of course, my favorite line is at the end when Clint Eastwood has Raul Julia is like, there's gotta be 100 reasons why I don't blow you away. Right now I can't think of one. So entertaining dialogue. Charlie Sheen is the rookie who pairs her with Eastwood. I like the both of them together. I like both of them as actors. Charlie Sheen as a person, nowadays with what happened. But I do like them as actors. I thought they worked well together. There's some nice fun rapport. Like when Eastwood is talking to this suspect by lifting the guy's car and moving around in a junkyard. Charlie Sheen is chased by these dogs and he scares them and has a gun on them. And then Eastwood goes, that's a good word, kid. Now read them their rights. But yeah, there's some nice action, like the opening scene where before Bad Boys 2 did it, the rookie did it. Granted, not as big as Bad Boys 2. And yeah, I would say Bad Boys 2 is a better action scene than this, because they just have more money and stuff to work with. But the whole car following the bad guys, and the bad guys start dropping the vehicles out of the trailer of their semi. I thought that was it's nice to see that before they did in Bad Boys 2. And Eastwood even drives his car into their semi, but then they let her go and the whole thing flips. The ending is pretty insane. I mean, you have the female villain raping Eastwood. Charlie and Eastwood get together. They drive through the fucking building as it explodes. Great epic scene. Then they land on the rooftop, like I said. Then they fall through. And then they have to go chase off to the airport, which this would never happen nowadays because of 9/11. You never have an action scene like this at an airport. Hell, before they get in the airport, one of the bad guys is chasing our two leads in a fucking airplane. Like, these guys are running away from a bad guy who's trying to crush them with the airplane. It's nuts and it's fun and it's 90s practical entertainment. You would never do that nowadays. And they shoot the cockpit, and when they lead to another, and the airplane gets blown up. done for real. And then you have a gunfight in an airport, which again they would never do. Another thing you would never do anymore is when Charlie Sheen gets to Sônia Braga, who earlier had shot him, but thankfully he was wearing a bulletproof vest, and he mimics the line she said to him before, where he's like, amateur. Shoots her 3 times and then shoots her in the head. Nowadays, to be, oh, that's too mean to women, that's demeaning to women. This is a villain. The villain just killed any way a villain can. I don't care if it's got tits or dick or both or neither. But nowadays, they wouldn't do that. Oh, that's too harsh. No. It's satisfying because the villain was a bitch. And the bitch was a villain. And even before all that, when, because what happens is their partners, they're looking into this chop shop, Grand Theft Auto stuff Raul Julia, Sônia Braga, and others are doing. Eastwood is all looking for the guy who killed his partner. One thing leads to another. They do lay a trap, but Charlie is unable to shoot the lady because she's unarmed. And so things happen and he gets shot, but like I say, he has a bulletproof vest. They kidnap Eastwood, and then Charlie decides to go after his partner. And definitely one of Charlie Sheen's more underrated roles, because no one ever talks about this. He has some good dramatic moments. He has some nice moments, like when he's remembering his past after all this stuff has happened, and he's slamming his head against the bathroom mirror, and he says a good line, "It's time for me to stop being scared, and for other people to start." And he goes from a rookie to a badass. Like this bar that earlier in the film he got beaten up at, he comes back. This time he's a badass. I love the way Eastwood did this, where the music is playing, and they tune the music to like do 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 do, and as it ends, crescends. Charlie Sheen gets liquor in his mouth, lights up, and as the music crescends, I thought that was a nice touch. And he's beating people up. A dog's attacking him. He shoots the dog. He's been pissed like, hey, who wants to have fun, huh? Who wants a piece of me, huh? Come on, motherfuckers. You play fucking games. Come on. Come on. Just gets the bar on fire. Just being a badass. And then, he gets on a motorcycle, he's coming home, rescues his woman, and fights this guy. Him and his girl fuck that bad guy up. And the only issue I have, which it's not really a film, it's more of how the story was played out. Because I liked these two together, I would like to have seen them together more. But I mean, that's part of the story. It's like Eastwood's character gets kidnapped, and then Charlie Sheen has to go after him. So, in the story, I of course understand why, but it's just I liked these two together. I would like to have seen them even more together. But I mean, I don't know how much that's fault at the movie or how you could have worked that. How you could have worked that out, I'm not sure. But yeah, like I said, I like the dialogue. I like the action set pieces. I like the two of them together. I thought they both did a great job. Raul Julia, granted it's weird. I guess Raul Julia is supposed to be a German, but they're only by dialogue wise. But there's nothing German about their talking, their accent. So I don't know why that's in the script. You could have just easily just not mentioned it at all and no one would have a problem with it. But again, that was a bit weird. But Raul Julia did a great job. This is easily one of my favorite roles Raul Julia did. And he plays the main villain in this. The ending, I like how the ending mimics the beginning, where now Charlie has a partner and now Eastwood is the captain, but things are kind of mimicked from what we saw very early in the film. I like that sort of nice, as George Lucas says, it's like a poem. You know, they rhyme. And I'm still thinking about that great explosion, you know, with the car. I'm like, they do that stuff in Fast and Furious. It looks like a cartoon, a video game. Here is done for real, as that's why it looks better and holds up to this day. But I mean, especially for a film that no one ever talks about, got a bare bones Blu-ray, it deserves a lot more talked about. I think sadly what happened was it came out in 1990, at the end of 1990, and I think it got buried by Home Alone, because Home Alone was a runaway train at that point. Home Alone was this missile that you couldn't stop. It just demolishing everything in its way, box office wise. So movies like this, maybe even Predator 2, like these movies got in the way, sadly, and got demolished by Home Alone. Which is sad, because I like Home Alone, but I like these movies better. And because the film didn't do that well, no one really cared about it. I mean, think about it. I doubt you don't find many people have reviewed The Rookie. Just people like, oh, I don't remember that film, or I've never seen that film, or I forgot about that film. Well, there you go. But I think if you like action films, if you like buddy cop films, if you like these two actors, easily worth a watch. I mean, it's 2 hours, but I didn't feel the 2 hours. I really did not. I really don't have much problems with this. It would definitely be in my top 10 favorite buddy cop films. I don't know what that list would be. Just the buddy cop genre is a genre I really do enjoy. Like I said, Tango and Cash, I Come in Peace, Split Second, Lethal Weapon, of course. In a way, The Last Boy Scout, 48 Hours. In a way, I mean, they're both not cops, but one of them is a cop or a detective, or how you want to put it, a PI, how you want to word it. I really enjoy Bad Boys and Bad Boys 2. But, I mean, underrated Clint Eastwood film and underrated buddy cop film. And again, one of Charlie Sheen's better performances. Eastwood is a boss, like usual. And entertaining popcorn flick with some good explosions and some fun action set pieces, and like I said, some pretty damn entertaining dialogue. So thanks for watching, take care, and we'll see you in the next video. Later.